Good evening. Oh, crikey, it's a lot of people. Good evening. My name's Mark Hodgkins. I'm the chairman of EnSilica. I'm not the founder. The founder can't be here tonight. Unfortunately, he had a family affair arranged before that he had to be at. What I'm going to try and do tonight is give you an understanding of EnSilica. We're a small company, market cap of about 50 million. We've been on the market for a couple of years. So a bit of history, a bit of knowledge about what we do, where we operate in the computer chip market, and then take some questions at the end. So, usual disclaimer. So, the company was established in 2001 as a consultancy business, and over the next 10, 12 years was very successful. We did work for people like Nokia, ARM, Panasonic, Sony, and built up a lot of IP of our own, because as you're designing for other people, you learn stuff yourself and you put it on the side. I'll keep that. And it was very successful. The company has never made a loss except for the year before IPO, when we generated a loss on purpose to write down some of our IP assets to increase the amount of VCT relief that we could generate. So it's been a profitable company throughout. In 2016, I joined in 2015. In 2016, we migrated the business model from that of a consultancy, which I've just referred to what's called a fabless ASIC design and supply company. That means we do everything in the process of designing and making a chip except actually making it. And as you probably all know, there are not that many foundries in the world that make chips, and one of them in particular in Taiwan makes 70% of them. So we don't do that bit. That'll cost you $150 billion to make a plant that does that, and we don't have that sort of cash. In terms of where we're operating today, we've got 3 chips in supply already, and the importance of that will be evident as I go through this. One of the ASICs that we've secured was for an automotive company, and that's worth $40 million revenues over the next 6 years, and that's in supply already. We also have 7 chips in the design stage, and again, I'm going to show you a graph that will illustrate why that's important. We've got a growing pipeline, loads of opportunity. It's a great space to be in at the moment. We make chips that are at the edge of the computing world. So most of the world operates in analog. Computers operate digitally. We do a lot of work converting analog information into digital information so that the computer can do its work and what it has to do. So lots of applications, cars, phones, fridges, you name it. There's chip in everything today. There'll be hundreds of thousands of chips in this room probably. There's a lot of opportunity. We've kept the consultancy business going because it is a very steady business and it's a good cash generator. So for now, we're keeping that business going, but it's not an area where we're going to grow it because it's not where the real money is. Where are we now? We're trying to make better solutions with gadgets through making better chips. That's what we're trying to do for everybody. We've got a global client base already. We're delivering good financial growth. I hope some of you have seen our RNSs. We've been floated for two years, and we've had a pretty consistent record of decent results to announce. We've got 170 employees across the world. We're in 3 major places. We've got a team in Brazil, we've got a team in India, and we've got 3 teams in the UK. We've also got a subsidiary in the United States, which we don't have any designers there because they are stunningly expensive in the United States. And we also have a business in Germany, which is more to do with that a lot of our major customers are in Germany. We're focused on 4 major sectors, really. Automotive. The average car has got 3,000 to 6,000 chips in it at the moment, and in 10 years' time, it's probably have 30,000 chips in it. So it's a big opportunity for us. Industrial. You may have heard that NVIDIA are taking the world by storm with their AI chips. Well, that is impacting on every machine manufacturer in the world because their controllers need to be able to work with the computing power that NVIDIA are establishing. So there's a big opportunity for us in industrial. Healthcare is a huge market where what we do is particularly converting analog to digital data is particularly relevant. And we've got a particular lot of IP in satellite communications. We've got a great pipeline and order book. We've actually got opportunities worth $473 million at the moment. We've got a proven business model. What we're doing has been done many times before. It's not clever what we're doing. What they do designing the chip is clever, but the business model is not clever. It's been done before. Cambridge Silicon Radio, Dialogue, these businesses have trodden this path before us, and we aim to trade in line for the rest of this year. That's briefly our corporate structure. Won't spend much time on that. Just to say, we've got a very powerful non-executive team. All are, Noel Hurley is ex-ARM, Wasim is ex-Imagination, David Tilston is an accountant. There are actually 3 accountants in the business, which is a bit of a danger. I'm an accountant. And Janet is ex-Cadence. So our people are extremely important to us. We've got 170 of them, roughly. We've got a lot of graduates. We've got a lot of second degree holders. We've got a lot of PhDs. And one of the challenges we have is finding these people. That's why we're in Brazil. We were offered 24 engineers who all had expertise in what we do, so we took the whole thing and we set up a business there. It's very difficult to find these people, and we have to pay them a lot of money. But the thing that keeps them interested and why they stay with us is because we give them a lot of varied work, whereas a lot of our competitors produce the same chip over and over again. We do something different for every customer, and our engineers like that. So that helps to keep them connected to us. We're working very hard on graduate recruitment. We've got an office in Bengaluru. The university in Bengaluru produces 100,000 engineers, electronic engineers every year. In the UK, the whole of the country produces 6,000. Just a bit about the competitors, what we're about. By the way, it's going to come up later. We're nothing like Sondrel. Okay, Sondrel are not a competitor of ours. You can see who the competitors are. We like to think we're in the top line, really. All these businesses are bigger than us. We've got a challenge, but we have IP that they don't have, and they have IP that we don't have. So we've got our customers, we've got our markets. We can be complementary, but we'll never be competitive to them because they'll just do something different to us. So what's the growth opportunity? The growth in the silicon chip market generally between now and 2030 is forecast to be 9% per compound average growth rate for the next 7 years. And within that, these numbers are a little bit out of date now. You can see 2021, but you can see there's some massive markets that we're focusing on. The total market for us that we thought we were addressing when we started this exercise a couple of years ago was $119 billion. And I'm not going to promise you we're going to get 2% of it or anything like that, but there's a huge amount of opportunity. And if you've got the right IP for the right application, you can very quickly become one of 2 companies that you're competing against. So that it narrows it down very quickly in some very big markets. So we've got some progress in the automotive market. I've already said that we have a contract with a UK manufacturer, so you've worked out that is already. That's worth $40 million over the next 6 years. If you've got a German car, you've got some of our IP in it, that's for sure. We did a lot of work for Infineon in the past, and Infineon provide a lot of the electronics for Mercedes, Volkswagen, Porsche, all these things. So if you've got a German car, you've got some of our IP in it. I hope it's working okay. Industrials, we've got a contract with the premier, in our opinion, the premier machine manufacturer in the in the world, which is a German company. You will all know it. You might have one of their fridges, you might have one of their electrical gadgets, or you might have a robot that makes automotives. It's a massive company. We won a contract with them in just after we IPO'd, actually, and that's worth $30 million over the next 5 or 6 years. These contracts that we win are big. So just before Christmas, we announced that we'd won a contract with a European business for 5G backhaul technology on masts for 5G telephones. That contract was worth 50 million euros. So we tend to win quite big contracts, which has a cash implication, which I'll talk about shortly. But we've got a lot of traction already with the company I've talked about, but many other machine manufacturers across the globe. We have a particular set of IP for satellite communications. You will have heard of Elon Musk's SpaceX and his satellite constellation. every subscriber for his service, and there's 2 million of them now, has a dish in the garden, which is very cleverly called Dishy. In that dish, there are 700 chips. And there's reputed to be something in the order of 200 million users in the next 5 years. There's an awful lot of chips there, awful lot of chips. We think it's a great market. We have some, there's a company called AST, this is not private, you can know that, quoted on NASDAQ. They are putting satellites into space this year that will allow you to phone anywhere in the world, from anywhere in the world, with your mobile phone, as long as you've paid your monthly subscription fee, of course. But you can stand in the middle of the Sahara Desert and call someone in the middle of the Antarctic, and you'll be able to get through. We're making the chip that makes that happen, and it will be going into space very shortly. So we think we have a lot of IP there. And on the receiving side, we have made the chips for the Dishy that will be usable by any satellite operator, and we've made them out of the most difficult technology, which is CMOS, which is the technology that people use for consumer items, electronic items. So we think we've been peer reviewed as the best in the marketplace. We've got our own IP in healthcare. We've got a lead customer with that. This is not an ASIC, this is an ASSP, where we expect to get a lot. I've just noticed the time. ASSP, where we expect to get a lot of demand. This will be for blood pressure, blood sugar levels, all sorts of things, and that will be just a patch on your arm or a ring on your finger. Those will be going live from us in the next 12 months. This is what I wanted to show you, though. So every contract, you can see on the right-hand side, contract A to I. Those are contracts that we've got, but they're not all of them are in production. So the bottom three are in production. So green is production. So you can see that we've already won work that will increase our revenues every year for the next 6 or 7 years. That's already in the bag. And that's when I talk about that pipeline of $473 million. Some of that is already written. We know it's going to happen. Quick update on our results. Trading in line, trading ahead of last year. Profits up. Well, there we go. We were pleased with that. We're a May year end, so that was the end of November. We expect to be trading in line to the end of this year, which is a couple of months away. I put this slide in because we had a bit of a cash problem just after Christmas. The government decided not to pay us, and many other people, their R&D tax credit. Our R&D tax credit is worth a lot of money, in this case £2.1 million, and they didn't pay us for 3 months. That gave us a bit of a problem. However, we were able to make our results announcement. Share price was very good. Managed to get a bit of a placing away. We've got 2.1 million now, which is about where we need to be. I just wanted to address any questions on the cash. Please let me know, because I know it's sensitive these days. Just very quickly, we have 3 business units: RF, millimeter wave, and analog. That's where the satellite business sits. Sensing control, that's where the industrial manufacturer sits. And our design services, that's a consultancy business. Each of those product lines have IP that we developed. We've got, sorry, I wanted to talk about our IP. Our IP is focused on analog sensing, that's the analog to digital. On cryptography, you might have seen recently we have released some cryptography for combating the use of quantum computers. That's what I can say. Just wanted to highlight ESG. It was interesting to listen to these guys about electricity. We try and do whatever we can to only buy renewable energy, and we only have an office with about 15 people in it because everyone works from home now, so we don't have a big carbon footprint. Cybersecurity is a big opportunity for us because of we write chips that will help you fight the threat. but also because of our work with the foundries, TSMC, etc., they require us to have a lot of this protection in place, which we've got. Our investment case, so far we've managed to deliver good financial operational growth. We're delivering across all our chosen sectors with good high quality customers. This is a proven business model. We're securing and scaling with our own IP. We're increasing our annualized recurring revenues. You'll see from that graph that I did with the red and the green and the orange that over time the amount of recurring revenue just increases year after year after year. Our management team, I'm the only accountant, there's a lot of engineers on it. They've been doing this for a very long time, and we've got a very good order book. Thank you very much. Just on time.
That's terrific. Do we have any questions for Mark, please?
That's quite difficult to do.
Okay, gentleman at the back first, and then we'll come to you. Thank you.
Hi, thanks very much for that presentation. You are the reason I came here tonight, by the way.
Oh, crikey. No pressure.
Quick question. The word fabless.
Yes.
Where is the fabbing done? And if it's Taiwan, what happens when China starts dropping bombs on it?
And that is the one question I can't answer, except to say, if China attacks Taiwan, you won't be worried about EnSilica. So it's clearly an issue, and TSMC are making big steps to diversify. They're building in Hamburg, they're building in Arizona. But in actual fact, our customers, these large global customers, are insisting that we use TSMC in Taiwan. And the way they're dealing with the problem is they're forward ordering, so they're stocking up with chips so that if there's a problem, they don't get a supply interruption. But they don't want us, in the main, to use the other foundries. And that's a customer decision, not our decision. But you're right, if China invades Taiwan, we've got a problem. Hopefully, within 2 or 3 years, that will diminish as there will be more fabricating capacity in Europe and in the United States.
Okay, question here, please. Thank you.
Can you tell me, please, if EnSilica helps with improving the local supply chain, and are there companies doing the same thing, not necessarily your competitors?
One of the advantages of having an ASIC designed for yourself is to take control over the supply chain that you have. So our large automotive customer had no problem during the pandemic, because he wasn't fighting for his chip to be made against all the other people. So if he bought them from Infineon, Infineon would have a bunch of chips, so well, you can have some and you can have some, you can't have any. Because we had the relationship direct with the foundry, we were able to secure his supply. So you can secure your supply chain by using an ASIC, it's true. You also secure your IP, and you also secure your cryptography issue.
I mean, this is actually good for bridging, bringing the supply chain, or whatever you do, helping that process.
I think that's a sort of political question, really. Is it a good thing that the British companies have a secure supply chain? Well, I think it must be. What I would argue is there's not enough people manufacturing in this country to use the chips, but I can't do anything about that. But in fact, we haven't got a British customer at the moment, which is sad, isn't it? Apart from the automotive, we've got one. All our other interested parties are either German, Italian, French, American, Brazilian, Indian, yeah.
And just a quick one, are there some VCTs invested in you?
Amati.
Right. Has it got EIS?
I think it has, yeah. Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I had a question about the sales cycle and where you come in. When you use an example like the automotive manufacturer, is that based on a relationship that you might have with them, or do they put out a process? Do they come to you and invite you to take part? And the kind of the collaboration for the work that you do, or are they aware of the capabilities of the chips and they say that's the one we need, or do you design custom to their requirements?
we design customers their requirements, but they come to us in the first place because we've got experience in that particular quite narrow field. For example, we have a lot of IP in LiDAR and radar, which is why we're in most German cars, because you've got a sensor that tells you you're getting too close to the car in front. That's our IP. Okay. But we've also got, out of that IP, we've developed IP in LiDAR. So with LiDAR, you're talking about autonomous cars. We've got some IP that helps you to see round corners. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. Yeah.
Is there opportunity for cross-sell once you get in with a manufacturer for that LiDAR or LiDAR?
Once you've proven yourself with an automotive company, they don't like to change you unless you really screw up. Because it's a very long process to get approval, and they don't want to go through it again. So as long as you supply and your quality maintains, it's like getting on a Boeing. That's a bad example, isn't it? Like getting on an aircraft plan. Once you're on the build program, that's 20 years business, And that's the same with car. Well, it's not quite the same car. It's about 7 to 10 years with a car. But for example, with the UK automotive that I've talked about, we initially got on for one model, 24 chips on one car of one model. And it worked and it's fine. And it's a chip that balances the car under high-speed cornering. So it's safety critical. And the reason it's such a big contract now is because they were so pleased with the results of that, they're now putting it across the whole range of cars. So that just immediately increases the demand.
Another question, I asked the London Tunnels presenter about why not London. We also see how attractive valuations are in the States for anything to do with technology. Would you consider leaving the London markets, or would US listing be attractive?
So we're very small, and listing on NASDAQ for us would not be appropriate. But I can tell you that more than one US fund has phoned me in the last 3 months to say, can we talk to you, please? So there's a lot of interest there. And I find it really depressing that with the state of the current situation in the United Kingdom. I think it's awful. We spent 5 years planning to get on to AIM. We started in 2016. And we IPO'd in 2022, and it's been a rough ride, to be honest with you.
Any other questions for Mark, please? Anybody? Are you going to stay around for a drink, Mark?
Yeah.
Well, we can get Mark over a drink then. Thank you all very much indeed for coming.